The State of Israel in 3 minutes. In 1917, the British government signed the Balfour Declaration promising the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. Shortly after the end of World War I, the British declared they would rule Palestine until the Palestinians were ready to rule it themselves. Jewish immigration increased at this time and thousands bought land, displacing Palestinian farmers. In 1936, Palestinian nationals revolted against the British government and were defeated. World War II saw the atrocities of the Shoah in Europe, in which 6 million Jewish men, women and children were killed. And in 1947, the British and UN created a partition plan, splitting Palestine into an Arab state, a Jewish state and an international regime. Jerusalem itself would become an international city. Many Palestinians said this took away their sovereignty and right to self-determinism. The Palestinian War of 1947 led into the Arab-Israeli War, which ended in 1948. The result of this conflict was that Israel retained all land proposed for the Israeli state, plus 60% of that which was designated for the Arab state. Jordan and Israel then seized the rest, which left nothing for Palestinian Arabs, 700,000 of whom were displaced. Israel called this conflict the War of Independence or War of Liberation. The Palestinians called it the Nakba, or catastrophe. In 1967, the Six-Day War ended with Israel occupying all land of Mandate Palestine, including the West Bank, Gaza Strip and East Jerusalem. They called it a war of reunification. The Palestinians called it occupation. Jewish settlements were established in these old Palestinian territories, technically contravening international law. Israel counters this by saying they aren't really illegal because Palestine isn't really a state. Israel declared Jerusalem the capital city in July 1980, a move condemned by the UN as a violation of international law. As a result, other countries moved their embassies out of Jerusalem and into Tel Aviv. In the 1980s, Palestine launched the First Intifada, a series of protests and boycotts against Israel, who reacted militarily. The First Intifada led to the formation of Hamas, which created schools, mosques and medical clinics, but also the first suicide bomb attack against Israel. For Hamas, the liberation of Palestine has become a religious duty. A series of peace talks took place, but a long-term peace deal has remained elusive, and if anything, tensions have risen further. Ariel Sharon led 1,000 troops through Jerusalem. A second Intifada resulted in thousands killed. Israel built a wall but used it to extend their borders. Hamas won a majority in parliament after Yasser Arafat died, then increased rocket attacks into Israel, who reacted with their own violent attacks into Palestinian territory. In December 2017, President Donald Trump declared the US Embassy in Israel would move to Jerusalem. This will effectively recognize Jerusalem as the capital city of Israel, overturning 70 years of international consensus, and, many argue, effectively signal the end of moves to achieve peace between Israel and Palestine.